Every developer's favorite phrase. It depends. And listen, I get it. It really does depend. But if you keep saying that without anything else, you sound as though you are dodging the question. Or like you have no idea. Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at the phrase "it depends" and how you can enhance that by adding a little bit more. Let's get into it. Why it depends isn't enough. Three main points stick out for me. Number one is it's vague. Number two, it doesn't help non-technical colleagues. And the last one, it sounds like an excuse. Think about it in this sense. If you ask the question, can we roll this out next week? And your answer is, it depends. And then there's silence. Your stakeholder is going to look at you and like, it depends on. Please share more. Instead, I want you to look at it like this. We're going to say, it depends on whether QA signs off on the latest build. If they do by Friday, we're good. It gives the stakeholder the information that they need and they probably require. Let's have a look at some phrases that either replace or expand on it depends. Let's have a look at some situations where it depends may technically be useful, but it's also wildly unhelpful in the situation. Here's what you can say instead, or at least follow it up so it doesn't sound as though you're trying to stall for time. Having a look at dependencies, and if you are asked the question, can we deliver this by Monday? You don't want to just say it depends. That depends on whether the client provides final assets in time. If they give it to us on Thursday, we will be fine. But if they give it to us later, we might need to shift the deadline by a day or two. In this situation, it shows that you are aware of the blockers. You're not being negative. You are just stating the conditions as facts. The person that's asking the question knows what to follow up on. Instead of staring at the Gantt chart or staring at the project timeline, wondering why the project is behind schedule. Situation two is dealing with uncertainty. If you are asked the question, is the new server going to be able to handle the launch load? Instead of going, it depends, and silently hoping we will be able to, you could answer, there are a few variables we need to consider, like system load and traffic. We've run stress tests, but if we see a traffic spike, we might need to auto-scale more aggressively. You are still saying it depends, but you are wrapping it in real, understandable conditions. And you are trying to be transparent without creating panic. This is the difference between saying maybe and actually managing real expectations. Imagine you are asked, should we go with A or B? And if you answer, it depends on the situation, which, let's be honest, it is true, but it's the verbal form of go, we could go with option A if speed is the priority. It's lightweight and faster to deploy. But option B is more stable in the long run and has better support for edge cases. You are presenting two clear options and aligning them with business priorities. That makes you sound as though you are someone who understands tech and strategy. And that's what your stakeholders want. The next time you say it depends, immediately follow it up with what it depends on. Conditions, trade-offs, risks. Don't make it vague. No vagueness, no mystery. We want clarity. Let's look at a real world problem of how to explain a delay in a way that sounds professional and human at the same time. You might be tempted to say, we've hit a delay. And when someone asks you, what can we do about it? You go, it depends. A better way would be, we've hit a delay because the testing environment isn't behaving as we expected. If the dev environment holds, we will try our hot fix. Otherwise, we will have to push deployment by 24 hours. Let's have a look at those three sentences and break it up into a little bit more detail as to why it works. First one, we've hit a delay because the testing environment isn't behaving as expected. You are giving context in this situation, not just a vague with the problem. Then you're laying out the condition. As the dev environment holds, we'll try a hot fix. This shows that you are monitoring the situation and not just crossing fingers and hoping for a miracle. And finally, you are offering a concrete outcome. Otherwise, we'll have to push deployment by 24 hours. You've just turned a problem into a decision tree, which makes you sound structured and trustworthy. When you give people logic, conditions, and timelines, you're not just speaking better English. You're making their jobs easier. And they will thank you for that. Maybe not initially, but eventually they will thank you. At the end of the day, it still depends. But hopefully now you have the English to explain exactly what it depends on. And trust me, that makes you sound 10 times more competent and slightly less like a chatbot. So what is your go-to phrase in English? Let me know in the comments. And as always, if you enjoyed this, please hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one.